Checking your physique, I don't think I could want you anymore. Chilling with your girl, I'm jealous that I can't just run over and take you on the floor. And I don't wanna cross nobody, I know it's never worth the pain, but I can feel your eyes run down me, and all my sense just fades away.
Hello, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. It's day 12th day of streaming, and we're building Master Minutes. Yesterday we stumbled across a couple of problems. We started working on the design of the demo screen. I'm using the word demo, but really it's a sandbox for kind of building out the layout of the app. We jump straight over to that now. And one of the things we were struggling with was doing this kind of sticky, scrolly window. And yeah, that's where we were going to pick up from yesterday. So I'm going to pick up from there today. It's going to be a short stream. I only got an hour and a half, maybe, before I have to head off. So we'll see what we can get done. I think we'll just jump straight into it and start looking at what we've got. I'm liking how this is coming along. There's just a few little bits that I want to kind of tweak and fix, and I want to get this kind of sticky scrolling situation working. Now, I've been looking on, I didn't get much time yesterday, but I did find this Stick Up 2, which is a jQuery plugin. We're not using jQuery, and I have no intention of using jQuery. It's such a pain in the arse, jQuery. It's not a pain, but like, it's old, and I don't want to bloat my app with a bunch of plugins and utilities that I don't necessarily need. But Stick Up 2 has the exact kind of functionality that I want to recreate, and so we can look at it to kind of have a look at that. This one here, this container here that says side long, if I scroll down, what you'll see is it sticks. Now I keep scrolling. If I change direction, I scroll up, it unsticks, and then it catches and sticks again, and then it catches at the top. And then side one doesn't feel the height, but it does stick, and they both stick at the bottom of that. And that is essentially what I want to recreate for my sidebars on the agenda and the participants. And so we're going to try and recreate that. We've been doing some stuff in our JavaScript. I think let's take a look at that. We have this pinned element controller. We have our HTML, and we've got some base CSS which we can close now. Our HTML is basically, we've got our section, and inside our section we've got our pinned element data controller. And the idea is that this div is going to pin itself depending on where you're scrolling, and that's how it's going to work. Now we had this logic yesterday around like whether it's fixed, whether it's static, if the scroll position's after here. We also had a bunch of whiteboarding we were doing that we hadn't quite figured out. And I think one of the core problems we had is we have these kind of utility methods, private methods in here, and we kind of messed up the math a little bit on some of these. We used kind of the rect, and actually it turns out kind of misunderstood what the rect is calculated from here. It's bounding client rectangle. It's based on its position relative to the viewport, the screen, and so that didn't quite work. So we kind of started trying to work this out a bit rogue, away from our whiteboard, and I think we kind of had some stuff going on here, like with the window height is less than or more than the rect bottom. This doesn't necessarily tell us much though, because we're not using the scroll, but I guess this is the scroll. I guess that does tell us whether the rectangle of the bottom is more than. If the bottom of the rectangle is here, it's less than the window height. Whereas if it's down there, it's more because it's off the screen, but it's further down. We haven't got to it yet. So that kind of makes sense about whether the scroll is after. The scroll is after if the window height is more than that. This one here doesn't, this kind of get absolute element top. I don't know if that's necessarily the right thing. That one's probably the one that's a bit off. Yeah. One of the things I want to try and do is just have a look at like how stick up works. So we're going to kind of dive into this jQuery plugin. Hasn't been touched by the look of it for 5 years. You could also look to see whether there's like any alternatives. Stick elements to viewport. Dixie. What's this one? Because if there's one that just zero dependency JavaScript, sexual elements to the top until they reach the bottom, unlike yeah, okay. So it's not quite what I want based on the examples here, but this is Do they have an example? No. Okay. JavaScript stick elements. Let's see. Is there another library? Sticky.js? So we've got a couple of different sticky libraries that we can look at. See, the position sticky doesn't work for me because I don't want to have to continue scroll. I want to be able to scroll the sidebar. Like stick up this one. I want to be able to scroll in the sidebar without it kind of having to get all the way to the bottom of the screen. Dixie probably is the closest, perhaps. Not closest, but like zero dependencies is what I want. Apart from maybe stimulus. Stimulus I'll accept as a dependency. When was this last worked on? Is this also an old one? 3 years it's not touched. 3 years! Okay. Initialize. I imagine we're... So that's interesting. Now looking at the... where's the start listen? Notation observer. We're not doing anything with the scroll. Oh no, there is. Refresh all. Then there's a refresh. Refresh there. Yeah, that one. Window page Y offset. Is that the page Y offset? I think is the scroll Y. That gets a state, and then that stores the state, and then it applies the state. So let's see, what does calc state do? State stuck, static, fixed. I do quite like this structure here where they've got like limits. They kind of calculate the limits and have that as very clear, like here's the pixels at which these things happen. Because then you can just use the window offset. That feels a lot more testable, or at least kind of debuggable than perhaps what we've got here. Let's perhaps just duplicate or rename this file underscore underscore or xpinned, and we'll create a new one that's like pinned element controller.js, and then we'll start again somewhat, I think. With our new stimulus controller, I'll get rid of some of that stuff, not that. Okay. Let's do a calculate limits. This dot, or just return an object. We've got two things, I suppose, because sticky doesn't do what I want, but it does kind of have, I think the only one that does what I want is the stick up plugin. Stick up 2 at least. Is there an example with stick up 1? Can't see an example there. We'll find stick up 2. So I find stick up 2 a little bit more complex to read. So for everything that has function stick up, we apply the stick up with this and the options. That I then believe calls the initialize. That then sets just I think I need my notability, whether it's going to load. Let's see. So this was our kind of whiteboarding session yesterday when we were like looking for a lot of this stuff. This is our main kind of state changing, I suppose. And we have state changing when we scroll past the bottom of the element. So that's one thing to think about. Limits, I guess, would be like when we top and the bottom. What's this assumed the limits to be? Like the parent element. But then the other part, perhaps, the other thing I can think about it maybe is like mutation or observability, observer JS DOM. Is it mutation? Mutation's when stuff changes in the DOM. We don't really look for that. We're looking for intersection, resize. The intersection observer API provides a way to asynchronously observe changes in the intersection of a target of the ancestor element or viewport. Because it probably would be easier if I could just set the intersection. Like set these observers up Um, like how much? Kind of scanning through. I think I'm going to try this. I think I'm going to try something with the intersection observer and try and build something that's a little bit more robust than relying on the scroll position. So let's do that. Let's do a new intersection observer with options. Let's just copy that and go into here. We're going to just disconnect those for a moment. In fact, I can get those back there in the other file, and we're going to get rid of that. Get rid of that. When we connect, I'm going to use const, please. This dot observer. Root. This dot element dot parent element maybe, and then this dot observer dot observe this dot element. And then we'll call this dot. We want the callback. That's event in there like that. I guess we'll see what we get. Okay, fine. So we get kind of the bounding client rect, the intersection rect, the time. Over a single number, an array of numbers is an indicator of percentage of the target's visibility. The observer's callback should be executed. Entries and an observer. Oh, I see. I think I don't want to set the root because the root is like whether it's intersecting with that element. And I think if I don't set the root, what I'm doing thought that might come in and out, but it doesn't. We need to, this is entries, and then entries 0 or oh yeah, actually it is 0, isn't it, on all of those? There's only 0. 0 dot what can I grab? Well, I guess that's probably fine for now, as long as I can grab the 0 out of it, then it's going to give me a bit more information. When I leave, it shows there, and then when I go back in, yeah, that's not quite what I want. Yeah, I'm not sure if that works really. Whether that approach fits. What? Possible. Be possible to create a sticky element JavaScript using observability. It's not observability, it's intersection observer API. I think what I actually probably need to do is add thin div at the bottom. Like inside the element. Like if I could add something that I can then append my observer to, then I can probably use that, right? For when it comes into view, and then I don't need that. I just I want to know when it's fully in view. So I guess what I could do is do something in here with that. Like I could do I guess that works. Pinned element anchor. Start anchor. Anchor's probably the wrong term here, but then at the end of the section you have like the end anchor. And then static targets equals start anchor and anchor. Is that right? Stimulus controllers targets. We can use we can use thingy case here. To do end anchor and start anchor. This dot start anchor target, and then the end anchor target as well. We can use the same observer because we'll be able to use our entries here. Missing target. Data pinned element target. Start anchor. Pinned element target. Pinned element target. They're there. Missing target element end anchor. There we go. I think it was just outside the scope of the controller. Fine. So one of the problems I have is like when I start here, that is actually on the screen. What does this have? So this one is the pinned element anchor. That's the one at the bottom of the screen. This one says it's not visible. This one says it's not visible. But it is intersecting, and that's not intersecting. And then when I scroll down, eventually this says that the one at the top is no longer intersecting. Like that's changed its state. And then once we get so far down, we have this one come into view, which is intersecting. Again, not visible. I think that's because there is nothing to see. Like it's not actually rendering anything on the screen. So I only really care if it's intersecting. We are lost music. Something random on. Yeah. So then this is intersecting. That's when I can work out, okay, this target is the end target, and therefore I can then do what I do need to do to fix it. What's that? If it's pinned to the bottom and you scroll up, then I need to unfix it. Like that probably makes more sense. Also, that should cause that thing to go out of view, because if it doesn't, yeah, I think that makes sense. I think that's yep. Yeah. What can I do on the intersection observer in regards to there's root margin. So I think I need to set the top of the root margin. The other option is like, the thing is that this, it looks deceiving because it looks like the element ends here, but it's not. It's hiding behind all of this stuff. Hence why I can select the text like that. So the text is actually back here, that's why it goes off the screen there, which means I need to calculate this. I think I did calculate that. That was my kind of absolute top thing, right? Which I think I'm just going to put in like a util slash absolute top.js default function absolute top, and then we can just import absolute top from there. I keep using it. 189. So 189 should be the height of this head, which is 92.5, and no, where is it? Not that, not that. This, which is 64. The 92.5 plus 64, 156. Right. Oh, but then there's bat as well. So it's actually the top of the parent. $157, which is the 156.5 rounded up. Top. And that's because, like, here is that. I need it to go off the screen, like there. It's kind of annoying. I got the root margin. Let's just console log the options, make sure that the options are being set properly. 157. Maybe it's minus. Maybe I need to. There we go. It was meant to be minus. Not sure why it always loads like here, like yeah. Anyway. Entries dot for each. Just do a console log up here as well and see kind of the element position. These are the 2 element positions. Okay, what do we do when we experience these things? So, what is in here? Like, there's the target. If the entry.target is equal to this dot start anchored target, will do something. Otherwise, if end anchored target will do something else. If we reach the end, this dot element dot style fixed. We want the I feel like that makes sense. So basically what we're saying here is as we scroll down, eventually we're going to reach the bottom and it fixes in place. We can keep scrolling. And now I can't scroll up. So I need to kind of unstick that. So let's solve that bit next. For that I am going to need to listen to the scroll, I think. I don't think I've got a choice there. Need to add scroll. I don't like doing this, but I'm just gonna do it for now while I'm figuring some of this stuff out. And that is naming my kind of methods, kind of scroll handler or on scroll. Or, yeah, scroll handler is what I'm going to call it for now, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. I'm going to change it before the end, before I finish. Const scroll direction equals, well, to work out a scroll direction, I need to know what the last scroll was. So let's do this dot last scroll. Y is window. This dot last, and then const scroll direction equals. I don't want to do that. I guess I can. Scroll direction. I don't need to do that. I just return whether it's more than. If it's the current is more than the last one, then we're scrolling down. We've increased our scroll position. Otherwise, we're going up. Yeah. I think I'll do a this dot state equals static. I wonder about maybe doing const static fixed. Let's dot state static. Some of those other ones kind of like pinned or not pinned. I don't know. Static, fine. When we do this, let's perhaps call this dot state equals fixed. And then we can use that here to say this stat is the state is fixed and the scroll direction is up. There's some other stuff we need to take care of here to do. Also consider where the what type of fixed the element is in. Top or bottom, because if we're fixed to the top we need to scroll down. If we're fixed to the bottom, maybe I do that in here, like it's like fixed bottom, fixed at the bottom, and we scroll up, then that kind of takes care of that. You scroll to the bottom, it pins. You scroll up, it unpins. But you scroll down, pins. But then when it unpins, when we go back to static, we need to work out our current scroll position. This dot element dot style dot top. I guess what we're actually doing here is probably relative rather than static. So this state is probably needs to be something different, but we'll figure that out in a bit. Window.scroll Y pixels. It's not right. We need to work it out in a second. It's close. The top needs to be reset. You scroll down, you scroll up. And it kind of pins it. So yeah, it's like the scroll Y minus this dot element dot height. It's almost there. I think this big chunk is probably because of this dot top margin, and then I need to probably also remove that from here, or add this dot top margin. Need to add more and push down further. We scroll down, we scroll up, we scroll down, we scroll up, we scroll down, we scroll up. Pretty well. Problem is now I scroll up and I can scroll past it. Like I'm pushing it down, but I'm never pushing it up. But actually this okay, now something's weird with the height. The scroll Y isn't the right thing to use. It has to be to some degree though. For me the height is the wrong thing. The height is also changing because like there's a couple of these that are because of the width. So I need to figure out when we're in fixed mode, the width needs to be set to something. How do we... Do I need to set the width to whatever the parent is in pixels? I wonder if we should have like a apply 8, and then it's like state if state is fixed bottom, because then I can kind of do this, I suppose, and then just call apply state in here, fixed bottom. And the point of doing this would be that actually I can move some of this logic in here as well. If state equals static, apply state, static. What am I doing? This needs erect. So I'll grab that and I'll do that in here. Const, I think we'll also do the parent rect. This dot element dot parent element. Because what I'm thinking, well, actually, perhaps I do it here. Like, whenever we fix it, we fix the width. If the element dot style dot width equals rect dot width. That work? Apply state is not defined. There. It sticks. And then we can scroll. At least the width is fixed now. There's still something weird with the calculation down here, but when we go into this mode, this top. The top is relative to here, right? So if we take the scroll Y at this point, the scroll Y is 0, but we need to add on. The scroll Y is 0. But we need to take off. Add on. Scroll Y is 0. In order to have it in its natural spot, well, its natural spot at scroll 0 is that. But once you get to 156, it will. Once you get to 157 pixels of scroll Y, it's up there. And so the so it's pinned at this point. It's pinned to the bottom, but perhaps I can grab a pinned element, and even though it's pinned to the bottom, I can do $0 dot offset top. $454 pixels. Times -1. I do like math dot absolute. I wonder if that offset top. So if I scroll down further, it's still the same. So the offset top is not what I want. Okay, client bounding rect. Okay, client rect 0. This is relative to the screen though, which isn't really relevant. Again, the top is -453. Kind of not relevant. That's a fixed number because what's happening is it's position fixed. So all of those numbers are relative to the screen. What I want is relative to the containing thing, which is now up, way up high, way up high. How do I get the distance in pixels between a fixed element and a containing parent element? I didn't say the top though, did I? I guess I can use the client bounding rect. This is important this number here is important because that's my adjustment offset. That's also the height, is it not? No, the height is 995. Or 0 dot parent element dot get. This one has a top, and then we also have like window.scroll Y. So we've got lots of different numbers going on. Lots of numbers, lots of numbers. Oh, the throat is going a bit dry. The top is, you got to scroll up 1660 pixels to get to the top of the thing into the viewport, right? And so let's see. These are all relative to the scroll position. So rather than using the scroll Y, I could use those to work it out. I could get the parent rect, that, and then this top should really be. Can ChatGPT work it out? Not now. It should be. That might actually be what it is. It'll work if this is gone. Yeah, that's what it is. Now I need to do the top. So if state is fixed top, we're going to do something else. Is that what we're doing? This probably wants to be this dot top margin, right? Probably. Yeah, because with position fixed, we need to. We're based on the viewport, and therefore we need to account for that top margin, which is its natural position. Width becomes fixed as usual. And then the bottom is null. So we should now be able to go down, up. No, because we haven't called this up here. And entry is intersecting. This dot apply state fixed top. So we scroll down, scroll up. Why is it stuck there? I don't know where it got that top margin from. I suppose if we're already scrolled down the bottom of the page, that's probably a problem. Yeah, see, once it's up there, it's stuck now. I now need to have I need to fix something there. There's a few things that are a bit broken, but I also need to consider that when we are in a state where this dot state is fixed top and the scroll direction is down, we need to apply the state static. When you scroll down, we need to work that out. Hopefully that applies for both. Because it's using the rect top. Click on. Really well, but in this way doesn't. Let's just do 0 pixels for now, and then we'll kind of solve some of those problems. 0 pixels pins it all up there as the problem. And also because of the margin, I'll just have to. Am I using the top margin elsewhere? No. This top margin is kind of useless. Let's just do it as if it's 0 for now. Oh. End. Get rid of this for a second. Go all the way down. Go up. The problem is now that is the full height. Let's just set top margin back in there. But we know at the moment is 156.7. And then down here,
I'm sick with excitement. You kiss you so violent. Fire in your eyes. I feel like you ain't right here. Nothing that you like here. I know you were keen to cut the ties. It's fire in
inspect. Just reduce that height, that viewport. I don't need to worry about the top being unstuck because you can't scroll any higher than that anyway. I do need to add in count for there's a weird bit there where it like comes unstuck and then has the thingy. What is this, 32? Yep. Okay. Getting close. Getting close. Okay. It seems to work pretty well on a quick flick of the scroll wheel. Just a few little points where the map doesn't quite work out. And then like it janks a little bit there. Where this math doesn't quite work out. And I'll just get the rect dot top. Scroll down, scroll up. Kind of annoying that the height isn't. I need to do something about the height. The height needs to be like when there's no content, the height needs to be minimum for the full screen height. so I need to figure that out at some point. This is working quite nicely though. I can scroll down, check stuff, and I'm like, oh hang on, I need to go up a little bit on here. It moves this as well, but it's all kind of part of that one. Scrollable area. But then when it comes to the top, I get to here. This looks like it's in line, but then I scroll down and it's down. And that's because we're using the top where the going on there. So we grab it, hold it up, we're in fixed, and we're going to go into absolute, or go into static when we scroll down. And when we do that, we're also adding the amount that we scrolled. I need a scroll distance, is the problem. Const scroll distance. When we go from top and go down, minus the scroll distance. I don't know, it's getting confusing now. Put it up. You pull down. Add the scroll distance. Okay, perhaps not. Well, there was something about the scroll distance. We're getting the rectangle of the top. So this rectangle. And we're getting the rectangle of the parent off the top. We're getting those two pieces of information. We're getting like the distance from here to here. And the distance from here to here. And these should be positive because they are on the screen, right? Like if I inspected this and did $0 dot get bounding prime rect dot parent element dot, they're both. We're doing 188 minus 156, 5625, 31 pixels. And so, but there is this padding that's naturally there. That is about the same height as the padding, I think. 36 pixels is the padding, isn't it, around these? 32. It's close enough. Like 32. Yeah, there we go. Okay, you can pull it all the way up, and then when you scroll down, it's nifty. That actually doesn't break the bottom either. Why doesn't it break the bottom? I guess it does actually, because it doesn't scroll here straight away, because the amount that I scrolled is very close to the amount that. The only last problem is when we reach the end. Why does it suddenly come unstuck? As if you're really quick on it, I feel like. If you're really quick on the scroll, it might lose it. With this approach, that's the only problem, because if the observers don't fire in time, then you lose them. I think it's good enough. I think there's a few bugs that I think I should probably just solve this one problem at the end. When we reach the end, I guess that's part of here, right? I could also observe the parent element to see when we reach 100% of the observed distance. When we reach the end. Do I do it on my scroll? Do I? Let's just try and observe the this dot parent element. Yeah, the entry target. It is intersecting console.log. Parent intersecting. I can grab that. Let's start element up everyone. The idea is it will happen at the very end. No, it doesn't happen. Okay. Because it's never fully in a view, I think, is the problem. So I'm kind of stuck. I either add something to the very bottom and use that as the handle, or I use the scroll position to work out whether I'm at the bottom. I guess I could grab like parent direct, work out if parent direct dot bottom is in the view, right? If it's less than the window dot inner height, console dot log bottom. Let's comment that out. Bottom. It's at that point where the bottom becomes in view. And I think once the bottom becomes in view, that is quite reliable, then we can apply the state static, I believe. All the way down. Okay. Close. Is this in a mode where it's fixed? Suppose you can unfix it and then you keep scrolling. It's kind of like, hey, observed, not observed. I feel like this 32 is causing me a problem here now. Because like when I'm at the bottom, and I'm on the opposite. Probably almost want to... Oh. Oh, what's going on? Oh, because now I'm like just dragging it down. It's a weird bug. Ignore the middle section for a second. Does it go into relative? It does, but the top. There has to be like a max top, basically. The max top. No, not the absolute top. Max top is going to be the rect.height minus the parent rect.height at 32, 64. So the padding, right? Is the thinking there? Math dot min Is that right? Well, that's not what I want at all. Why is the height a minus? Oh, I need to do this the other way round. It's the parent rect minus the padding minus the rect height. So you take the parent rect is obviously the larger of the two. And then we take the padding off, make it a little bit smaller, and then we take the height of the thing off, and what's left could be, again, not a massive negative number like that. Why did it say 16? Oh, that might have been earlier when it was. When I get all the way to the bottom. Yeah, that does work. Because then you basically can't go any lower than the bottom. And then that's why top's always smaller. In this mode it's fixed anyway, and it's fixed based on the top. In this mode it's fixed based on the bottom. I could even fix 32 pixels. I can set that in the thingy. I don't need to do that right now, but that's something I could consider doing. And then once we reach bottom, there's probably a small period where it snapped. So we're pulling it down. Yeah, it kind of jumps back up. I'm kind of okay with that. You hardly notice it. I probably just need to tighten up some of the tolerances on this at some point, but I think it kind of does the job for what I need for now. And I don't want to spend much more time on it. I don't want to spend another stream working on this blimmin' sidebar thing. And I think for the right hand side one, I'm just going to use position sticky for now. I guess I can do that with the controller. We're not using that anymore. I wonder what happens if I did apply this to here. I think, yeah, and then, so this should be connecting now. Yeah, and it's doing weird things. Like, hitting itself to the bottom. Oh, I need to fix that at some point, because that's gonna break. That's gonna be annoying. Ooh. If this dot element, or like, I kind of need to work out like configure init pinning. This dot mode equals pin, and then all of that stuff can happen. If this dot mode equals pin, you can do that. Otherwise, I don't need to do anything. This dot init pinning. Init stick. This mode equals stick. Element dot style position is sticky. Need to figure that out, but yeah, that. And then up here we're basically saying this const rect equals if height of the rectangle of the element is less than the window height. You can just do sticky. Otherwise, they're both sticky. Rect height. Wait. But if I need to then also detect if content changes, because as you're adding elements to it, the height will grow, and we might need to switch from sticky to static. From sticky to pin. Spent far too long on this problem. We may I need to it's not just this, it's that minus the top margin. Yeah, that actually makes it work. I do still need to consider about what happens when these grow, and also like what happens when the window changes size, because now we're still in this mode but you can't see these things. Although I suppose, to be fair, the worst case is you have to scroll all the way to the bottom. Like, it doesn't break, it just degrades in behavior when you change the size of the screen. The sticky still works and this one still works. They both still work regardless of the screen size change. Actually, that works quite well. I need to solve that. This background problem is easy to fix. I do want to add, this is a styling thing, I want to add a bit more padding margin on the bottom. Excel. This one. And then on the pop out, margin bottom -2 rem. It also pops out the bottom. I'm quite happy with that. I think that makes sense. I think it looks good. I think let's just quickly review the changes. We're not doing the prop file. That looks good. That's fine. The base CSS, we added overflow X hidden. I did that last night. The pinned element controller, we're going to discard this one. This one doesn't do anything. The X pinned one, the absolute top, we didn't use in the end. We can just discard that as well. The demo, what did we do in the demo HTML? We added in, we removed this div. I noticed there was a weird wrapping div yesterday around this. I think I must have up there at some point by accident. I got rid of that. Added padding bottom, increased the padding bottom at the bottom. Pinned element, it thinks that's wrong, but it is not wrong. It does work. There is still no. No. I got rid of X pinned. It deleted the file. Does it go in my trash? Please go in my trash. It deleted the file. I must have accidentally, because I've got get absolute top, and that's the one I wanted to get rid of. So, no, hang on. I've got it in here still. This is still in memory. Sources, controllers, pinned element, Command A, Command C. Controllers, new file, pinned element controller.js, You ain't getting me this time. I need to stop discarding files in there because it always leads to hell. Okay, good. This one, discard. Get absolute top. Delete file. Okay. Crisis averted. This is now looking good. We increased our padding there. We added in our divs for our pinned element. We added our anchors in for the start anchor. We also added our end anchor. We also did the same for our participant sidebar. Same thing. That all looks good. Our pinned element controller. This is a bit of a smell. I'm gonna do. We're gonna open this up quickly here. To do calculate top margin instead of hard coding. That's something we need to do still. I'm gonna get rid of the console log. To do consider using a resizer observer. Howdy, Mr. Ant Brown. Hope you're doing well, lad. Which language do you code in? Doing a mixture of Ruby on Rails, kind of as our framework that we're using, and then JavaScript is kind of my predominant language that I typically code in. A lot of my experience has been React over the last 5 or 6 years, I suppose. Probably more actually, 6 or 7 perhaps. Yeah, a lot of React. Full stack, no JavaScript. Done a lot of JavaScript, GraphQL, that sort of stuff. But with this project, I'm trying to take a slightly different approach and use a lot less JavaScript and use a lot more kind of Ruby on Rails and do a lot of backend stuff in Ruby. Over the last couple of years, I've been doing a lot more in Ruby. And actually, I really like Ruby as a language. And so I'm trying to use it more. And so I'm using Ruby on Rails and then JavaScript to add in sprinkles. And this is one of these cases where I'm adding in sprinkles at the moment to create this kind of scrolling section that sticks, these sticky scrolling sections that you can scroll up and down. And so I'm using Stimulus to do this with just plain JavaScript rather than React or anything like that. Yeah. Resize observer and mutation observer. I kind of need to observe resizing and mutations to decide whether the window height or the rect height is changing. And then I'd have to work out what happens when the mode changes. Mode. What's your background, Pablo? Do you code? Do you developer? What do you do? Intersection observer. Very nice. I have no idea about coding at all. Fair enough. You interested in learning? Is that kind of get rid of these console logs, tidy that up. Kind of need a new name for static because this is confusing because it's like, oh, I set the position to relative. I think pinned probably makes sense here. Fixed. I mean, I met yourself in 2015 at Insomnia and had the... Oh, yes. Pablo. Your name has changed since then, like the last part, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I remember you now. Yes. Thanks for joining. I keep looking at the time because I'm going to have to head off soon. 2015 is like, I've still got those bracelets somewhere. Where are they? I think they're in a little pot of like Twitch stuff actually. I've got a little box of Twitch memorabilia and stuff. But 2015 is a long time ago. That feels like forever ago. It's been a long, I think, when the last Insomnia I went to. Yeah, Escabari. I'm currently working device support, a mobile TV internet provider. Moved to Malta from Scotland. Nice. I imagine the weather's nicer in Malta than Scotland. That's pretty cool. You pinned? 3? Normal? Going to switch and work as a software support of a compliance company in the new year. Nice. Is that still in Malta or? Scrollable. I didn't know that Willett also shifted over here. Yeah, I'm engaged to a Malteser, so living here over a very long term. Nice. That's cool. I think Caboose is also Maltese, right? I remember him wanting to organise a trip over there at some point. Seems like there's a bit of a kind of increasing Twitch community over in Malta. Whether or not about the 42 degrees in summer, it's a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, I can imagine. That's very, very different to, well, England, but definitely Scotland. Yeah. Let's see, is that still working? Yep. Yeah, UK and Malta have always been closer than most countries. And congratulations, by the way, as well, on the engagement. I don't know when that was, but yeah. Let's add that to here, and then I'm going to commit. Me and Kaylee still together? Yeah, we're still together. Still together. Been almost a year since I asked her. Nice. Any plans for a date, or are you not rushing up the wedding part? What am I doing here? Sticky scrolling sidebars. That'll do. Push that up. No, not yet. Plan on having it in Scotland. We found out how hard it is to organise from abroad, so I might be doing something small. Yeah, it's. I have no idea. I've not got money, but I imagine it being quite difficult to organise. A lot to organise, depending on how big of a thing you do, of course. I am going to have to head off, I think, as I have a place to be at 12. So I'm leaving it pretty tight, looking at the time. I had no idea Ella and Stodder engaged. Only seen the wedding pics when they went out. Yeah, she did share, I think she shared a couple of things on Twitter. Twitter and stream and stuff when she got engaged. But then I think they kept the wedding pretty quiet until after the wedding, obviously, for understandable reasons. But yeah, that was a nice wedding. Mint on the table. Yeah, I am going to have to head now. No worries, man. Nice to stop in and catch up for a bit. Yeah, it's been good to catch up. Hopefully chat to you again soon at some point. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good one. Enjoy the place. You have to be. Yeah, it's. I'm going for lunch with my sister and mum, and then my sister has got her driving theory test, so I shan't be late. Actually, I do need to make it so that she's not late for that. I will see you all later. No stream tomorrow. I'll be back on Thursday. Is that right? Yeah, I'm flying tomorrow. Yeah, stream on Thursday. See you later. Bye.